Hello, today I'm going to be going over Google AdWords keyword tool. I'll be showing you the ways I like to use the tool when having conversations with clients or if I'm producing estimates about the missed opportunity on search. I'll try to go over all the fundamentals and advanced so that you can know how to position this resource and how to data mine it for useful insights to use in conversation. To open up, I like to start by going on the left side here and switching from a broad match type to a phrase match type. This just ensures that we're getting very tightly themed phrasing for our keywords, that we're not broad matching to too many closely related but too far removed terms. So, for instance, if you're an auto repair shop but you don't do body work, we want to ensure that you're not displaying for other phrases that are related to your industry, but not, again, not what your business provides as a product or service. Another important point is to exclude terms. So let's say, again, in this example, that I'm a auto repair shop, but I don't do body work. It's important to add these as exclusions or negatives. This is just going to ensure that we're not getting inaccurate estimates. This is going to help us get a greater degree of accuracy to our estimates before we present them to the client. So again, I'm excluding body, I'm excluding paint, and I'm going to exclude some other terms too, like class or course, if someone is looking for um, courses or training. And if you make a typo, you can always remove it by clicking the X beside each term. I'm going to exclude school, salary, job, jobs, career. So again, they're not looking to recruit people. They're not looking for people searching for jobs or salaries. Or just add plural and multiple variations. And so I'm refining the estimate. I'm making sure that it's much more closely matched to what that company is really looking for. Now, when I go to the right field here, I want to type in auto repair shop, auto mechanics, uh, local auto repair, oil changes, transmission repair. Let's assume they're in Tempe. And you'll see I'm entering a few variations to give the Google keyword tool more information. The more information I can give it, the more accurately I can depict this business's products and services, the more likely we are to get better estimates and more accurate estimates. So the other thing I like to do to ensure this is only show ideas closely related to my search terms, select that. I do not like to use the website. And the reason is because if I use the website, it may pull information that isn't very accurate. It could be that that website isn't properly tagged, or it has a page within it that isn't relevant and was put there by someone attempting to do some bad SEO or some black hat SEO, things like that. This is just going to ensure that I have a little more control over what I'm pulling estimates for. And then I hit search, and note that on the keyword tool, it's all local United States. So when we look under local monthly search, this is local national to the US. And it is insightful. It does help us get information on what are really popular, commonly used search terms. So here we can see clearly transmission is very popular. Oil changes, very popular. There's probably a few more cartoon up. auto tune up, those are probably very popular as well. They're the commonly used terms, I would think. And here's what we'll do. So now that we've entered in our phrases and we have a good sense of what we're looking for, this would be through a BNA or just in preparation for a first meeting. I like to go to Add Group Ideas. And under Add Group Ideas, we get a logical grouping of all these topics. So it's very good for presentation, and it also helps us discover new exclusions. So we want to exclude terms like software, and we want to exclude terms like insurance is another one that was in there. And so you see I'm refining a little bit more. I like to go back through and double check my list and double check what am I adding. And you see I added it to my saved ideas. I want to just take that out momentarily because I've refined it further. And there's more to exclude. For sale, someone who might be searching to buy a shop or a franchise. And so again, it's a little bit of process of boiling it down, getting a little more concentrated, more focused, but this gives you a better estimate. It gives you a better depiction of the local opportunity in just a second. Now, if you don't see this far right column, CPC estimates, it's because you're either not signed in or you don't have it enabled. So you go to columns, approximate CPC search, and apply. And then this will display the national averages. I would note these, at least the medium, or sort of the range. So I would make a note of the 350 at the minimum, and then the 628 at sort of the maximum. It gives a minimum maximum depiction, which I think is really important when you're having conversations with your client. That way they know what to expect. From a national perspective, at least, and we'll go local in just a second, but make note of those. And then let's go through here again. I just want to start selecting all the things that are related. So look, here's repair cost searches that are very popular, and UpCar, which is for tune-ups, and then auto mechanics and auto tune-up services, oil changes, transmission repair. And then here's other keyword ideas. Again, we want to be careful what we select. So here's one for San Antonio, and we're doing an estimate for Tempe, Arizona. So we wouldn't want to include that. You can just select specific ones. Again, Atlanta, Indianapolis, Dallas, those don't apply. So we just want to be careful about what we select. Be sure to review your list at least 2 times before proceeding into traffic estimates. So the more you practice this research, the faster it gets. I can do this in under 5 minutes. At first, if you're hitting 30 minutes, 40 minutes, don't be discouraged. It just takes repetition, and then you'll be doing it in no time. So here's New York. We don't want that. San Jose, New Jersey, Toledo. Again, they're location specific, and it could skew our results. So here we go. Just remove these. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be as close as you can get it. Try to practice accuracy and try to practice this scrubbing, because then you'll be going in and proposing budgets with confidence, and you will have no doubt that this is going to be a true depiction of what the search can yield, what the search opportunity is for this company. So, and again, I'm just pruning out these really location-specific ones because I don't need it. It would be good if you're doing national franchise sales, but since we're just focused in that Phoenix market, we really don't need all these extras, okay? So almost done here. Couple more. Orlando, Austin, get rid of that, and that, and that, and that. Okay, so assuming I've gone through, again, I've triple checked and got with a pretty high degree of accuracy my keywords and phrases. And remember, I really like to use the phrase match type because it's keeping it focused. It's ensuring that we're only running on select groups and phrases. Now that we have our list, we can go to View in Traffic Estimator. It's in the almost the top middle, a little offset left of the page, and we go to My Ad Group Ideas, and it's going to load the traffic estimates for the United States. Now, this is where we can get more local. This is where we can get more specific and click there on locations. Remove the United States. And let's say it's for Phoenix Metro. Maybe this is a client that has a few locations around the valley. And so we go here under Phoenix AZ, Nielsen DMA region. Add that. And here we're going to have a representation of the local auction. This is both a representation of the number of clicks and the cost per click, your bid in the AdWords auction. And we can also filter by impressions. How many searches do we anticipate in a single day? And cost as well. I personally like to use clicks and impressions because it is a representation of what is the opportunity from a campaign in this market. Now this estimate looks a little bit low, so I'm going to do two things. First, I'm going to set an average bid. So an average bid is right smack dab in the middle. It's a max CPC bid. You just put your cursor over the line graph, click, try to position it as close to the middle of the line graph as possible. And then I'm going to add some more keywords. So I'm going to say phrases: auto repair, auto mechanic, car repair, car mechanic. And I'm going to add those by clicking Get Estimates. I went Add Keywords, typed in a few phrases in quotes, and then applied it to my current list. And so this helps to, again, shift the depiction of what is the search opportunity, how much traffic and how much search is done in a single day. And you'll see it's a very significant. It's 1,400 to 1,700 searches in Phoenix, Arizona per day across these phrases. Now, if I add in a broad term, such as mechanic, this is a very broad term, it's going to change the results slightly. Usually, it's going to allow some extra daily clicks, some more impressions, and it is going to potentially increase the cost of the campaign as well. So to summarize, phrase match in quotes is a control. And then a broad term without quotes is sort of an experiment. It's going to allow for all the closely related searches to trigger your ad as long as it includes the term mechanic. So this can be a good thing if you're looking for new keyword ideas and you need to discover how people search in a market. Maybe they search different ways that you haven't thought of yet, or different phrases that you aren't considering yet. And sometimes the keyword tool won't even produce these ideas, so it's good to experiment a little bit. I like to go, my philosophy is 95% control, 5% experimentation, or 90-10, 90% control, 10% experimentation. This just ensures that you don't miss opportunity that could lead to new sales, lead generation, inquiries, phone calls, etc. So hopefully that helps. Now, an important note here is that the average CPC, it's the average of all these ad groups. And occasionally there will be a $0 CPC, and this can skew your average CPC across the campaign. It can cause it, because it's zero, it can cause the average CPC to be lower, or it could cause it to be misrepresented. So I always like to go back to the keyword tool and double check national averages against my local averages. And this just ensures that if my local average seems too low, I can go against national averages and explain to the client it's possible the CPC could be higher or lower based on national trends. Um, Usually, it's higher than is depicted in the traffic estimator. However, the traffic estimator's got a lot better over the last year. There's a lot more data. It's been improved a lot by Google engineers, and they've made a vast number of improvements to this tool to make it more accurate, so that when you go and you have that conversation with your client, you're giving them as accurate information as possible. Now, there's a lot of opportunity in this market. Again, there's 57 to 70 clicks per day available. There's 1,400 to 1,700 searches per day. And if this client wanted to be very competitive in the space, I would say they could probably even budget a little bit more than $337 a day. I would say an auto repair shop across the entire valley, as long as they had a location in each city, could be budgeting $400, $500 a day. And as long as they're offering a very good promotion, so discounts on all these different services and ads focused to all these different services, I would expect a very high rate of response. Probably at least a 5% or a 10% conversion rate would be achievable. Um, so again, this is a representation of the opportunity. I think it's important to start your conversation that this is the total sum of the opportunity, just based on early estimates. Though it is very possible that when you start running your campaign, we find there's more opportunity available than what was thought initially. Because remember, we're not going to think of all the ways that people search initially. We can't possibly imagine all the combination of keywords and phrases and variations. So there could be more than this, but this would be a very good way for your client to start at a competitive level, to get a lot of data and insights quickly, because remember, 57, 70 visits a day, that's going to be significant. We're going to be able to identify where opportunity comes from and where our return on investment, ROI, where that's coming from faster. And that means we can we can prune out the things that are causing loss. So for instance, maybe we find that people searching for auto shops don't convert at a very high rate. They don't print coupons, they don't get request directions, they don't call. Well, we might not remove it, but what we might do is bid lower on that group of words. And by bidding lower, your position may fall a bit. So here, let me simulate that. So let's say I took my bid from where it is now, 1262, and lowered it down to $4.31 or $5, let's say. And look what happens. The simulation shows your position falls down to 5.7. So it's still on the first page, but it's not very prominent. And you will get some impressions. But, again, your daily cost is going to fall significantly on that group of words. And it's still effective. You still have presence, but because it wasn't performing well, there's not really a need to bid as aggressively on it, or it may present an opportunity to optimize the website further. So there's a lot of things you can do with this information, both in conversation from a sales perspective, as well as once the campaign is launched and running, and we do get insights against all these different groups and keywords. What we can do with that is we can visit conversation about how do we improve the campaign performance now that we have this data to that one company. It's important to remember that no two companies, no two campaigns are going to run alike across different markets, across different brands, across different websites. There's a lot of variables here. How the company answers its phone calls, that kind of information. How elaborate is its web form? How good are their discounts and promotions? So there's so many things we can test against and so many things we can review. Hopefully this has been helpful, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact me, reach out, let me know, and we can talk about it in more detail. I think it's very important that everybody understand this really well, and if there's anything I can do to help on an individual basis, feel free. All right, look forward to talking with you all. See you soon.